Hi, I'm just making a video to see what happens. I'm trying to make videos for YouTube. I want to think of maybe some interesting topics so I can have different videos for different topics, or I could just talk in general about anything that's occurred or anything that came to my mind recently. So in the end, I want to do something I like and make money doing it. I do Uber Eats deliveries. That pays some of my bills. I do online surveys. I have blogs and websites. And I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter. So somehow all of that has to pay my bills and more, and keep me happy. And if I can entertain people, that would be great. Of course, that should be the aim, the focus. So if you've got any ideas or you want me to talk about something, tell me. But I'm sure I have lots to talk about. But, let's see, you might give me an idea about a topic that just, makes me run. And hopefully I don't look too bad on camera. Right now, I could use a haircut, but because of COVID, I can't get a haircut. I did do some of this to myself. Okay? So don't be totally repulsed. My hair's white and black mix, so some people call that salt and pepper. I may add some black or some gray to my hair, but right now I'm concentrating on paying my bills, living through the legal and financial situation that we're in now. Our father passed away last year in July of 2020. Our mother passed away in 2010. So now the only income we have is whatever I make and whatever my sister makes. And the probate situation has been started for my dad's will and for the estate. That should be over by September, hopefully. That would make it 6 months. And because there was a will, it shouldn't take as long, but let's see. So, not having enough income, we'll have to see what the mortgage situation is. A reverse mortgage is an option, and I'm 52, so I don't qualify for a reverse mortgage. My sister's 57, she qualifies for the mortgage. And then what happens? She would go on title by herself for the property. She would be on the mortgage by herself. And then we would have to make a legal agreement that I still own 50% of the property, but I just don't qualify for the mortgage. And I don't know the wording for that, but I'll let the lawyers, help us with that. So I also do Field Agent. I don't know if you've heard of it. Field Agent is this app on the iPhone and I believe on Android. You go to different situations, you go to different stores and maybe take a picture of a product or check if a product's being displayed properly. I don't have a twitch, I just have an itch in my back, just in case you're wondering when I'm doing that. Doesn't look good for a camera, right? But if it got your attention, then why not? Oh, I just zoomed my screen. Anyway, so COVID has been with us since, let's say, January of last year. And then in March, I guess they called it a pandemic. I don't know. We're in a lockdown, more, what do you call it? We're in a bigger lockdown. Is that a way to say it? I don't know. But anyway, Toronto and Peel region have already been in a lockdown, but now the whole province as a whole is in a lockdown. So now people can't sit in restaurants, people can't go to the gym at all. People can't get haircuts, go to nail salons as far as I know. You can go to Walmart, you can go to Home Depot, you can go to the grocery store. And retailers are allowed to do business, so people can go to the store and shop with restrictions, like, how many people go in and how many people can be dealt with or whatever. Deliveries can be done for restaurants. You can't do in-house seating. And that's basically that. But so the whole province is in lockdown at once. Because there was talk of unfairness, right? So if you couldn't get a haircut here, you could go across the street and get a haircut. And, it wasn't fair. And I think, after thinking of it, I think this is more fair. That just say everything's in lockdown, but then we still have businesses doing business, right? So how do we know that, people aren't getting sick in those situations? But of course, the government and all the medical people, they have the numbers, they know where things are happening, and so they're calling it hotspots. They're gonna try to, solve problems in the hotspots. But there was a story on the radio on Talk 1010 CFRB here in Toronto, where a teacher got sick because there was a positive results student that got her sick. Now she's in ICU with intubation. So that's not good. And lots of people died in seniors' homes or long-term care facilities, specifically or more in the profit ones, not the not-for-profit. So anything that was government funded was run better. I think it's good when government does things, because basically they can not print money, but if you're in a government facility, they do what they need to do and worry about the bill later, right? So we, add to our deficit and all that. So sometimes that's a good way to do things, especially when you're talking about the health of senior citizens or people who need full-time care or a lot of care. But wouldn't it be nice if home care was the same thing, where they said, okay, you can't afford to pay for the services, we'll give you the services, and you'll pay for it for like parts of it. Maybe we pay 25% or less, or whatever it is, or and even then scatter the payments over years, right? So whoever provides the service will get the money sooner or later, with a combined effort from the patient and the patient's family and the government. So things can be done. But, when you say, okay, well, you can't afford to do it and we have no funding, just like mental health, they say we don't have funding to do things right. This is what we need to do, but we can't do it. So just do the thing that you need to do, and then, worry about the bill later kind of idea. There's got to be a way. If you kind of, I don't know. Well, they have mental health hospitals like Whitby Shores, I think it's called. So you deal with everything mental, mental health, let's call it. Maybe mental is not a good way to say it. Well, we have universal health care, but then the rich can pay for better services and all that. We say they're not allowed, but we know that, if you have more money and more free time, you can go to the doctor more often, because poor people can't miss work to go to the doctor as much as might be necessary. Anyway, so let's talk about some things like my websites. I have actually one main website about comedy, Zane's Mall of Comedy. I can put the links at the bottom of the YouTube video later. I have a blog about comedy. I have a blog about all kinds of different topics, including mental health and regular health, which should not be separate, but for now, that's how I'm doing it, because that's how it's being treated. So my YouTube, I'm going to see if I just do general topics for now, but it would be nice if I set up, maybe 2 or 3 or 6 different channels and do different topics on each channel. And hopefully people come and look at my videos, and, that'll be good. There's a lot of good stuff on the internet that I enjoy. There's actually medical type things that I like on YouTube. There's this girl, I'll call her a girl, but she's actually a woman, called Dr. Joe. So if you Google Dr. Joe, that's J-O, you'll see this woman, this lady, this person that's on YouTube and on the internet in general. She has a website. I don't have it off mind, but she, I forgot if she's, what her title would be again, the occupational therapist, I believe would be the title, just like the lady that helped me with my arm when I broke it. I was, I wasn't in the hospital, but they just put a cast on, and then after healing, I had physiotherapy, and so occupational therapist, I believe. So look up Dr. Joe. She has lots of videos on, if this hurts or if that hurts, try these exercises, try that. Have you ever had like a really bad back problem and you were having trouble getting out of bed or getting into bed? She shows you the right way to do it so you don't keep re-injuring yourself or making the injury bad or worse. When my dad was still alive, like last year, even a few months before he had died, we were using her videos, to try to fix my dad, I guess, to make him stronger or whatever. He was having trouble with his left arm. So I guess I'm talking about my dad now. He had some breathing problems last July, and they took him into the hospital. They revived him. He was barely breathing when they took him away. He lasted 2 weeks in the hospital, then passed away, but the basics were they diagnosed him with Parkinson's disease, and he had trouble. Whenever he would eat, he would choke if he didn't remember to swallow. So he was coming home as far as the doctors and nurses were saying, but the day he was supposed to come home, he got sicker, I guess. Someone could help me look into that, or, if someone wants to say this is what happened or whatever, I'd still want to talk to the doctor that was, in charge of his care. So that's something. But he passed. But we didn't know he was going to pass until the day that he passed. I mean, he wasn't, strong, and he was basically bedridden, but he could do everything. He could eat, drink, he was functioning brain-wise, right? I mean, he could move his arms. He could use his right hand to eat for a bit, and then I'd help him out more because he was getting tired or whatever. But I was his caregiver for, 24-hour caregiver for, let's say, 5 years. And before that, he was okay with a cane, and then he went to walker, then wheelchair, and then, the wheelchair is basically where you end, right? And then he was in bed, and I'd have to carry him out of the bed, put him in the wheelchair. So going to the washroom and showering and all that, I did that all for him. I was going to say I helped him, but basically he could move, like his arms and legs and everything could move if he wanted to and all that. But we kept being told that you can't afford home care, and since you're home, go ahead and do what you can. That's not fair. That's what I was getting at earlier, is they should help us with professional help. And then, they could say, well, pay like $100 a month for many years, right? It would be worth it because we could afford to get help and whatever. But the government help was, they said, we don't have enough funding to give everyone home care. And the fact that I was home and my sister was home, not home, but, we existed, right? So if we just put him in a senior's home or a long-term care facility, my dad would cost the system $5,000 to $10,000 a month, right? But by, saying, okay, you're already there, we saved the government $5,000 to $10,000 a month. Let's see. So if the government had, given us a couple thousand a month to make sure our bills were paid, the majority of them, then I wouldn't be going out and working and trying to take care of my dad. My sister had her own problems, or still does. So that's basically that. I can't think of any more things to just say off the top of my head. And the best videos are probably the ones that are, written and rehearsed and read off the script. Or at least, I would have a bunch of topics and deal with each topic. I don't know if you heard that, but I burped. Haha. All right, so I'm going to try to tell you all the stuff I'm doing in my life and everything that I can tell you. And if it can be entertaining, that's good. If it can be educational, I'm not a doctor or anything like that, but, I'll tell you what I went through, and if it helps you, great. If not, there's lots of resources. I'm sure if you want to get help, you can get help. If you have money, it helps even more. So this is the end of the video for now, or at least for this video, and I'll see where I go from here. Thank you.